Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. My name is Adams Olafimilajide, and you are welcome specially. Today is another Saturday, today being the 19th day in the month of November 2022, and this is the 192nd episode of the year. 92nd episode, but it's actually the 92nd episode for this year, but in total, it's actually 192nd episode overall. All right. And it's a pleasure being here today. I'm sure that like a lot of you guys actually had to go for an Owambe today, and you all had fun, or you're probably doing well in your respective endeavors. I hope it wasn't really a to God, I'm back and better. And on this episode, we'll be looking at ways to protect your mental health from the dangers of social media. I'll try as much as possible to be fast because it seems my internet network is not so great today. So I would really not be spending so much time talking and chit chatting. However, if this is your first time of being a part of the show, you're probably wondering what this whole thing is about. I talk about entrepreneurship, I talk about leadership, I talk about freelancing, and today I would be focusing on your mental state of mind. I realize that like a lot of us spend time on social media, and whether we like it or not, we tend to get drawn into the rabbit hole of the social media world, and sometimes we get depressed over time, or probably like it affects our mental state, especially when you go online. You are either seeing something that is negative, or you're seeing people that are doing way better than you, even though you cannot actually vouch for how they got their wealth or how they got their money. And careful, you would get to that state of mind that like you feel that like you're not actually doing great for yourself, or probably like you're a failure. But the truth of the matter is that like everybody is going through one phase of the other, or everybody's actually in one phase of their lives or the other. And if you do not come to that realization, you then like end up having this mental breakdown. And that is what I am here to address today. That um rather than focusing on the dangers of social media, right? How can I actually come out of it? How can I actually use social media for the greater good, for something that is actually much more beneficial? All right. So I have some points listed out, and I will be taking them one after the other. However, if you're there and you're probably watching me live, right? If you're watching live right now, you'd like to say hello, just put your name and location in the comment section, and I would welcome you specially. Anyway, before I dive into the points that I have, I need to give a shout out to my neighbors that are there right now. They are walking on my window. I just need to say hello to them. All right. I know they are waving back, but nobody can actually see them. I wish I could actually flip my camera to actually show what they're doing in the background. All right. So let's dive into what we have for today. Number one is limit time you use on social media. It's very, very important, right? There are times that like you could be on social media, but there should also be the time that like you have to realize that I must not be on social media, especially when you have to be with family, when you have to be with friends, when you have to like probably be in your place of worship. You have to realize that like there are key moments in your life that like you should not be on social media, because if you spend so much time on social media, it's going to affect those other areas. It would be to the rabbit hole on the long run. So there are certain times that like you have to realize that like I must not be on social media. You have to, if you have to write it down, please do write it down, right? If it's gonna be like the time that like you have meant to spend on meditation, or probably like you want to do your devotional as a Christian or a Muslim or whatever religion you practice, right? You have to realize that like these things are important on social media. So know the time that like you could be on social media, then know the time that like there are key moments for you not to be on social media. And when it is time for you not to be on social media, make sure that like you stay off completely, not that like you are pressing your phone on one hand and then you're doing something else on the other hand. All right. Number two on the list is that, like, go off whenever you feel triggered. That's number two on the list. There are times that like you could actually be on social media and then you'd realize that some things you are seeing are beginning to affect your mental state, your mental health, right? You see, let's say you go on Twitter or you go on Instagram, and then the first thing you see is like something that has to do with rape, something that has to do with someone kidnapping someone, or probably a place was bombed. Before you know it, if you're not careful, your mental health would be damaged on the long run, and you really would not want that. So make social media for inspiration, not comparison. Whenever you are online, whenever you're trying to like check things online, and actually see it and then like use it as a leverage for me to be able to like um push myself harder, that like I can actually do better in life, I can actually go forward, right? This is not going to be my resting point. Okay, do not see things that you see on social media as a form of comparison, because the more you compare yourself to the things that like you see on social media, the more you would be depressed, the more it's going to affect your mental state of health, and you really would not want that. Rather than comparison, see it as a form of what's the word, inspiration, that would push you, that would propel you to be able to like go on to the next level of your life. No, moving on to number 4, whenever you want to go online, always ask, am I trying to use the social media, right? Is it just for me to check on the gossips online, or do I really want to use it for my business? Am I just going to use it to search for certain things that will give me inspiration, as I said earlier, for me to be able to like create new content for my own product? Or am I going there just to waste my time and just to like have idle chats? Whenever you don't have a reason why you go on social media, on the long run, it's going to affect you. You would be drawn into that dark hole, right? You then realize that like you keep on scrolling and scrolling, going through one account to the other, and you're not really doing anything tangible with your life. So make sure that like you have a why before you log in to the social media platform that you are used to using, right? Or else you're going to be drawn in, and then like you've already spent 2 3 4 hours and you have not even done anything tangible with your time. So have a why. Once your why has been achieved, make sure that like you log out, you leave immediately. Number 5 is follow relevant accounts. It's very very important that like you follow relevant accounts, because if you are on social media and then like you're just following every Tom, Dick, and Harry, it's going to affect you, because you would see the things that like you really do not want to see. But if you're focused on accounts that can add to you, right? Accounts that what's the word, that would be of benefit to you, then it would go. Like I realized about Twitter sometimes, that like they try to suggest certain things to me, that like, hey, would you be interested in seeing funny quotes, or would you be interested in seeing Davido or Wizkid? And I keep shutting those things out, because anything against their trade, right? They are musicians, but that is really not the reason why I am online at that point in time. I came online because I am business oriented and I just want to see posts related to business. If it's not business, I am not really interested in it. So I keep, this is the last point rather, because my network is poor today, is go off grid from time to time. There are times that like you just have to like stay offline. It's very, very important that like you stay offline. Okay, I'm trying to like click that. Yeah, make sure that like you stay offline from time to time on social media, because it's going to affect you. Learn to detoxify yourself from time to time, right? Very poor. It's, I don't know what's happening today. Even the almighty MTN is not really cooperating today. I really wouldn't know why. Anyway, the last point that I have is ask. You realize that like the social media thing is affecting your social, your mental health. Tell people around you like, hey, I need to be accountable to you. I don't want to spend so much time being on the internet. I just want to focus on things that are really, really relevant. people can actually help you out, really go a long way for you. Because you realize that you can actually be a better person on the long run. Now, these are the pages I have. I can't really stay for long because business work is terrible today. I have to leave. I hope you guys are going to get something. But just for the sake of clarity, I'm just going to like run through all the points. I said number one is limit time you use on social media. Number two is go off when you feel triggered. Number three is use social media not comparison. Number four is know your why. Number five is following relevant accounts. Number six is go upgrade from time to time. And number seven is ask for help when you need it. It's hard trying to like bring these things on the screen because and I totally understand it's one of those things. All right. But then this brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you guys are going to learn something tangible. Before I leave, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your loved ones. I am so sorry about the quality of today's video. It is one of those days when everything you have planned out does not work, but hey, we did all. We give God all the glory. All right then. My name is Adat Actually, I'll see you again this coming Wednesday. Have a great week, guys, and be the best. Go on, Bye bye.